YouTubing simmers, it's me, CuriousSafe1 again, and I'm back, this time with another speed build, as you can see the pictures. This one's going to be a little differently. I'm going to talk about myself. CuriousSafe1, what am I about? How did I get into videos? How is my life? Well, I'm not going to get too in-depth with my life because some things are private, but I will tell you a little bit. So I got into YouTube videos because, well, I ended up getting real sick at my job in 2011, gallbladder attack, and they removed it. And after that, just had a lot of health problems to the point where I had renal failure, and they were trying to work that out with me. But eventually things got worse and I ended up on dialysis. So that's my little short story in a way. How I got into videos. Well, there was a time where I got really depressed and I needed some sort of outlet to basically cope with life. So I started making a dollhouse first, right? And then, I kind of took up the whole table, and it took me way longer than I had expected. So my mom told me to get another hobby, where I love playing The Sims. If you look on my Sims 4 account, I have all the collections. For the first Sims, I have every expansion pack that came out for it. And whatever I didn't have, my best friend from high school actually got me into this game, so she had the rest of them, and my boyfriend at the time bought whatever else I was missing, which was pretty cool of him. And let's see, now for the Sims 2 expansion pack, I really wasn't working. I had a really bad car accident, and with the car accident again, I wasn't working, so I really was only able to buy one, which was The Sims 2, and then I think The Sims Pets Unleash or something like that. And then came The Sims 3, and I went ham on it. I bought every single expansion pack. I had like 3 computers. I was really into the game to the point where, you know, I was working like 2 jobs and I barely had enough time to play it. But when I was home and I barely would come out of my room because I was playing for like hours. Anybody who's a simmer knows that you plan on playing for like 20 minutes and by the time you look at the clock, it's like 6 hours later and it's dinner time and you just realized, oh my goodness, I haven't eaten anything. So that's how I basically got into playing the game, my best friend. And now I basically figured I should start playing it by myself and I should start buying my own computers and stuff because it became quite hectic going to her house just to play the game. Like, she kind of was very hip to that. She's like, did you come to my house to hang out with me, or did you come and play my game? It's an interesting question. But that's how I basically got into The Sims. And I've been a loyal subject of EA for ever. And then, as I said, I got sick with my gallbladder. My doctor took me out. He said that I couldn't work anymore. For those of you who do not know or have not watched my other videos, I used to be a certified nursing assistant working in a nursing home. And I was there for in total, I worked 10 years as a certified nursing assistant in 5 different jobs. And after all that, I basically didn't know what to do. And I found myself staring up at the ceiling and looking around and having all this extra time on my hands and not knowing what the hell to do with it. So that's when I started building a dollhouse. And the dollhouse started getting really complicated. So I stopped that because my mom needed her table back. And I started playing The Sims, and I started posting Let's Plays. I mean, I did previous Let's Plays before, but they were like very sporadic. They weren't very, I wasn't really focusing on subscribers. It was just something that I thought would be nice to share with, YouTube and other simmers about how my game progress was and stuff like that. So that's the main focus on how I started making videos. But then when I became out of work due to my health condition, I figured that it would be a nice form of therapy to make videos and post them on YouTube. And you know what? I have to say, the reason why I'm doing this video right now is because I got a lot of touching comments where it motivated me like 10 times more. Like, okay, at least I'm getting some positive comments back. It could be one, it could be two. It doesn't matter. As long as I get at least one comment, it makes me, any other YouTuber who watches this would understand what I mean. It's like, yay, okay, I'm doing something good. And like I said, this is a form of therapy for me. So it's not even like I'm looking for subscribers or likes or anything like that. It's a bonus. It makes me feel that, I did a good job, and more like a sense of appeasement, like when you get a good grade in school type of thing, like that type of thing. So that's basically what I like. So I figured you guys don't know anything about me. So I said, why not? So I have adrenal deficiency. For those of you who are not aware of this, adrenal deficiency attacks your parathyroids, where the adrenal glands don't function the way they're supposed to, which don't throw out enough hormone steroids to your body. And I've had that for pretty much all of my life. So I'm used to it already, but I was always hospitalized since I was a child. So hospitals to me really is like a second home. But if you've ever wondered why I've, haven't, because I know I've been in the hospital one time, two times this year already, where I got the flu. Now a person with adrenal deficiency, let's say I get a cold, it's going to be 10 times as worse for me than it is for someone who doesn't have the autoimmune disease, where the cold that I get will feel like the flu, or the flu will feel like I'm dying type of thing. So, just to get you guys a little clarity of what exactly it entitles. So that's basically so far everything so far. So I'm a New Yorker. Yes, guys. I'm not going to pinpoint exactly where from New York I'm at, because I do let off little hints here and there, but yeah, that's about it. And basically, my life is home and going to dialysis, and then home and then going to dialysis. So I go to dialysis 3 times a week. It's kind of hectic and it's very tiring, but I've been on dialysis for like 2 years already. So, well, maybe 3, not quite sure. So basically, when I started dialysis, I really wasn't all that happy about it. I really didn't want to be on dialysis. But my sister made me. And I understand her point of view. If it was her, I probably would have made her too. But I really didn't want it for myself. And some things in life, you can't help it. But my family said that they needed me. And that's one of the reasons why I ended up going. But I had a specific request to my doctor. I was like, I don't want to take care of it. If I want to get into the shower, I want to make sure I don't have to do like an hour worth of prep work just to hop in the shower, or if I want to go swimming. And I was like, I want it completely invisible. So the doctor basically put it in something called a fistula, which is normally when they take the AV artery, which is the pulse from your thumb, and they connect it to a vein where the artery, which is where the pulse is, basically every time your pulse goes, it swooshes through the veins and it makes it sort of kind of inflate. So it's like a constant inflating that's happening so that the vein can mature and continue on. So, I mean, I figured that would be best because that's something that's inside of my skin. I don't have to cover it. I don't have to do any prep work with it or anything like that. So another thing that I had started before I started making these videos was actually I started writing a book. Now, the book itself is a story about how I took me having dialysis and my kidneys failing and all that ruckus that happens when, your life drastically changes. And I found a way to cope with it to the point where I figured I could help somebody, if possible, in the same way that, it kind of helped me, So that's what I did. And I wrote a book. I haven't published it yet, but it is on the back burner. I wanted to review and just make sure everything's right before I actually do it. But other than that, I mean, it's pretty cool. And I've always been the type of person where when someone tells me I can't do something, I normally try anyway because that's just the type of person I am. So when everybody was telling me, why are you going to write a book? Why are you going to do this? Nobody wants to watch you playing The Sims. And I'm like, I don't care, to be honest. I'm doing it as an outlet. And if somebody's watching it, then you know what? Kudos for me, because that's something that I wasn't expecting. And, it's something where I feel that it's another form of therapy, gratification. Now, I'm really good at when people give me criticism. Thank you if you feel like you need to give me some kind of criticism. I understand that. I'm really good at that. In high school, I was in the drama club, and I did a whole bunch of other extracurricular activities where it had to do with, arts and crafts and acting and writing. I loved all that stuff in high school. I mean, I didn't like other classes, but I definitely loved those classes, that's for sure. And it's something where in those specific classes they teach us, it's good to get criticism, and it's good to get a point of view from an outsider that doesn't really know you and has no filter on being nice to you because they don't know you. And I understand that, and I take it as a consideration. Like, you don't know me and you're still trying to help me out. That's awesome. Like, I love that. And there was a few comments on I think it was the Sims 4 forum or something. There was a few comments there about me. Nobody knew who I was. Nobody knew what I was about. I know I had a few people hitting me up on my email asking me if I was CuriousSafe1. And I didn't know what to take about it, but I kind of don't answer those emails because they kind of freak me out because I really don't know, to be honest. So if you really want to send me a message and you really want to talk to me, I would suggest one of my social media pages down below, or just message me on here. I'll answer. That's for sure. I'll always answer. But when it comes to my emails, number one, I don't really check that as often as probably everybody else does. I'm more of a, social media person than I am anything else, because of the simple fact that, social media is on my phone. So if you ever want to contact me or ask me any questions, you know what? My tag name is the same on all my social media pages, except for the Sims Gallery. The Sims Gallery, it's something completely different, and Oregon, it's something completely different. But again, it's down below, so you'll be able to find me if anything. So all that being done, I guess if you guys have any more questions, I'll do another speed play, or maybe I'll do another vlog, or a vlog. I don't know. You guys tell me. It's up to you guys. But let's see what's going on in here. So basically, I'm doing the kitchen. Yeah. And as I'm doing the kitchen, I'm just switching up some of these thingamajiggies because they weren't fitting right. And now we're going to, actually, you know what? I think I'm going to put a window. Let's take that out. I don't know why they're acting retarded. But other than that, let's see. I really don't know what else to say. My life is pretty much boring. I have nothing interesting. And like I said, I do these videos for a form of therapy, and that's basically how I got the idea for the machinimas and Let's Plays, and it was just something that just came to me one day. Like, I'm like, oh, that would be really cool to do, or at least try to do. You know, it's something where I love doing things where it's creative, where I have to think and actually have some form of skill in order for it to function just a little bit. And that's mainly, my focus. And I try to keep everything PG because I don't know exactly what age rate my audience is. So I try to keep it to, acquired hearing. And I'm putting in, I put a little nook. I don't know if you guys know this, but in most of my houses, I like putting in a little nook. That's like my dream kitchen with a nook. So if you guys are sitting around asking yourself, why is she always putting these stupid nooks in her house? That is why. Because if I was to ever own my own house, which FYI guys, I don't. If I was to ever own my own house, my dream kitchen would most definitely have a nook like that. So in most of my houses, I have a nook, and in most of my houses, I have a glass dining table because glass is 10 times easier to clean than it is for like a wood. Not that we can clean the table, but either which way, I do it as my visionary of the house. Sorry guys, but that's just what I see. So sorry about that. My throat is not working with me right now. So basically, this is my kitchen. I made it black and white. Not many people like too many bizarre of colors in their house. So I'm one of those. And then I just start putting some little decorations around, make it look like a kitchen. I know I do. I have plates and decorative plates and plates upon plates upon plates. It's craziness. So after all that is said, like I said before, if you guys want to ask me any questions about myself, you're more than welcome to hit me up on any one of my social media pages, on my Reddit, on my Twitter, on my Instagram, Facebook. I check it daily. So if you have any questions about me, or if you just want to understand a little bit more about Addison's or kidney disease, or being on dialysis for that matter, or what type of fistulas would be the best fistulas to, for somebody or for anybody. And FYI, in that case, I would so agree with somebody or the person asking for them to get a fistula, an AV fistula. That's actually what it's called. It's an AV fistula. So an artery and a vein. That's why it's called an AV fistula. So, other than that, I'm pretty much all done here. So I'm going to save this and I'm going to say goodbye and see you guys next time. It's me, CuriousSafe now, and bye now.